Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Slow progress in reducing plastic waste sparks concern. GMDA warns of impending crisis, no word from government on overtime pay. And later in sports, Jamaica College and St. Catherine Heights a battle for Issa Manning Cup title this evening at the National Stadium. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pula and here are the details. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been granted leave to seek judicial review of the Integrity Commission's report on his financial affairs. This ruling, handed down by Justice Althea Jarrett, allows Mr. Holness to proceed with his challenge to the Commission's investigation report, which he claims is unlawful and unfair. Still in the court, a decision on whether the Integrity Commission's case against former House Speaker Marcia Dalrymple Philibert will proceed to trial has been postponed to December 13. The delay comes after a bomb threat halted court proceedings yesterday. This has given Parish Court Judge Leighton Morris more time to review the case. She faces 8 charges related to allegedly failing to disclose a Mercedes-Benz motor car. Her legal team argues the charges are misplaced due to improper procedure. Progress has been slow in the reduction of plastic waste as new data suggests regression. But speaking at the official opening of the Kingsland Plastic Recycling Depot in Manchester, Minister without portfolio with responsibility for the environment, Matthew Samuda, emphasized that more needs to be done to address the issue. Despite best efforts, the country recorded an increase in plastic waste for the period 2019 to 2022. That's according to an Inter-American Development Bank (IDB) assessment, which showed the percentage of plastic in the waste stream jumping from 13% in 2019 to 23% in 2022. Minister without portfolio with responsibility for the environment, Matthew Samuda, reasoned that the COVID-19 pandemic significantly contributed to this surge as single-use plastics were widely used during that period.
It means that the problem of plastic consumption, or rather the growth in plastic consumption, is indeed exacerbating the problem that we have with it. And what is that problem? Well, the first is that every single piece of plastic that has ever been produced is still in your environment. It doesn't degrade. Now, not all plastics are created equally. Some are recyclable, some are not. There's no economic model that allows for some to be recycled.
He says plastic waste remains a pressing environmental concern.
We've seen several studies published in recent years that speak to plastics being found in the bloodstream. They've even had studies that say that plastics have been found in human semen. So we do have a serious challenge with plastics. But as I've said, not all plastics are equal. Plastics have played a serious role in even increasing life expectancy because of food quality standards. So plastics by themselves are not evil. Plastics must be managed in a particular manner.
Mr. Samuda says the government will continue to find ways to address plastic pollution.
To encourage the private sector, first with that initial investment in 2014, and subsequently with conversations, with meetings, and with support in other ways, to play its part. One such way that the private sector has played its part, which I'll come to in a second, is with the investment that is taking place on the Kingston Harbour for collection. And collection is a major topic that we shouldn't shy away from. But the other way in which the private sector, some of whom I'm seeing here, I'm not sure if your pool of investors has shrunk or if it still continues to include all players in the space. But that's good.
Normalcy has been returned to Old Harbour Road, Spanish Town, following yesterday's protest by residents over the fatal police shooting in the area. Indicom is now investigating the incident. Carrie-Ann Simpson has the details.
Things got heated off Old Harbour Road, Spanish Town. Not even the media was spared as tempers flared. This happened when our cameraman Devon Fletcher tried capturing scenes from the protest.
I don't have a problem with your visit, with your video. I don't have a problem. That is your right. Yeah. But I'm saying to you, this right here is mine. Let me make that clear. And me I tell you to back up. Back way. Take away yourself from right there, sir. Stay over there, sir. Do what you want to do over there, sir. I have no problem.
So, officer, I say I talk to me.
Listen, I want you nothing. If you come in my vicinity, you're going to get up and you're going to get arrested. Comply.
The roads were blocked for hours. Residents argued that 48-year-old Vernon Campbell was shot unjustly by the police.
Now, police get to kill me, Pitney. His son there at jail and I him a fight. And I get lion and run up and down for Pitney. I force Pitney. He now got turn him back on him. That's why they can't kill him.
Member of Parliament for St. Catherine South, Andrew Wheatley, also expressed concern about the killing.
I've known Ballad Vernon Campbell for over 20 odd years. Unless I am seriously mistaken, I don't know him to be a person involved in crime and violence, to the best of my knowledge. And that is the reason why the community is so anxious right now, because of the person we knew him to be. You understand? So it's a real surprise.
In a release, Indicom says the police reported that they attempted to stop Campbell, who aroused their suspicion while on patrol. It's alleged that the man opened fire at one of the police officers, who retaliated in response. A 9mm pistol was reportedly recovered from the scene. Indicom says the officers involved did not wear body-worn cameras. A total of 171 persons have been shot and killed by the security forces since the start of the year. Kerry-Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
Members of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association remain restive this afternoon as they are yet to hear from the Ministries of Health and Finance on overtime remunerations. On Thursday, the GMDA gave the ministries a 24-hour ultimatum, which would have expired by now. However, speaking on Power 106 Morning Agenda Friday, President of the association says this is just the calm before the storm.
Now, if you understand how the overtime for doctors works, that it's involuntary. It's not no if nor but nor maybe. It is. We are required to do it. And for the Ministry of Health and Finance to continue to pay doctors using the rates from 2021, and we implemented a new salary as of 20 months ago. Now, I hope you can understand, and I hope Jamaica can understand how anybody would feel in that circumstance.
Meanwhile, the Jamaica Police Federation says it has received a breakthrough in securing retroactive payments for added hours under the new compensation structure. However, the GMDA says they would not be so lucky.
Police have gotten their retroactive payment. In May of this year, we received a letter from the Ministry of Finance that stated unequivocally that if they institute a new proposal, they will not be paying any retroactive sums. We have that in black and white. So that is the problem GMDA has with the ministry. They sent a letter to us in May that said unequivocally they will not be paying our retroactive monies if they institute a new system.
Flow Jamaica is grappling with a severe act of vandalism. This has disrupted services for countless customers in Halfway, New Kingston and surrounding areas. The company reports that vandals set fire to fiber cables after breaching a manhole in the early hours of this morning. Flows describes the incident as a senseless setback. As the security forces swoop down on vendors in Anata Bay St. Mary, heightened concerns about the poor state of the Metcalf market. The vendors believe they are being treated unfairly by the authorities. Kelisha Williams reports.
An early morning operation to remove vendors off the streets of Anata Bay St. Mary following mounting concerns about the traffic nightmare in the town. However, the strong approach by the authorities has not gone down well with the vendors who are appealing for justice.
I told me by the lower them, and when me go to town, then I run off nobody, they on go paint the road, so enough to go over the yellow painted. They chop all in them from Beckford Street, then cut it down and then use the tent them and do it. You understand? What we going to do? Time on now, you know? I mean, I'm a pawn for you today. I mean, I'm a piece of concrete house to fix up, right? Do better, man!
The vendors explained that due to the poor condition of the Metcalfe market, they are left with no other choice but to sell in the streets, and they believe they should at least be given a reprieve for the Christmas season. However, Mayor of Port Maria, Fitzroy Wilson, told TVJ News that there will be areas designated for vending for the Christmas season, and he further explained that $19 million has been allocated to fix the market.
And it is scheduled to start. We would have wanted it to start as we did in Orocobesa, but because of the rain and the weather condition, the contractor couldn't have started before. But it is something that we're looking forward to, because the entire market district of Anatolia would have been impacted by the deteriorating condition of the market.
Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us, more stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Jamaica now has available groundbreaking epilepsy treatment. A newly approved FDA drug provides hope for thousands of Jamaicans living with epilepsy. The details in this report. Chair of the Pharmacy Council of Jamaica and clinical pharmacist Dr. Ernestine Watson says the drug known as Iracet can significantly improve the quality of life for patients. She says the drug is also safe for some high-risk groups.
It is comparatively safe in pregnancy, and we do know that whichever drug the patient is maintained on before pregnancy is usually the drug that the patient would go through pregnancy with. So, hint, hint, if we get our young woman of childbearing age on your Iracet early, then it is a safe drug through the pregnancy.
Dr. Watson says the drug is seen as a major win for epilepsy patients, given the financial constraints to some other treatments.
FDA has recognized it. It's approved for treatment of tonic-clonic seizures. It's approved for the generalized tonic as well as partial, right? And look here. It is able to treat from very early patients with myoclonic. It can be used as an adjunct therapy.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
With the winter tourist season set to begin on December 15, there's a major boost for Jamaica's tourism industry. American Airlines on Thursday launched daily flights between Miami International Airport in the U.S. and Ian Fleming International Airport in Bosco Bell St. Mary. This new daily service builds on the twice-weekly flights that began earlier this year, signaling growing demand for the island's north coast as a destination. Further afield, Honda is recalling more than 200,000 SUVs in the United States over potential fuel leak concerns. The recall includes certain 2023 to 2024 Passport and 2023 to 2025 Pilot vehicles. Honda says some of the recalled vehicles may have an incomplete connection between the fuel filler neck tube and fuel filler pipe. This could cause two components to separate in a crash, allowing fuel to leak. The automaker will be contacting registered owners of all affected models by mail in January. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Carrie-Ann Simpson.
Time for the top regional and international stories.
An earthquake with a magnitude of 4.5 rocked Trinidad and Tobago just before midnight on Thursday. The Seismic Research Center, SRC, of the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies, UWI, has reported. It said the quake, which occurred at 11:30 p.m. local time, was located latitude 10.97 and longitude 62.2 at a depth of 33 kilometers. It was felt in the capital port of Spain, Arima, and San Fernando in South Trinidad. There are no reports of injuries or damage. Surveillance footage shows a man wanted for questioning in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who smiled at a hostile employee while removing his mask. Police believe the suspect traveled to New York from Atlanta by a Greyhound bus. Evidence include a burner phone, a water bottle with smudged fingerprint, and a shell casing with the words "depose or delay" written on it. Experts say these clues could help to build a timeline leading to an arrest. United Healthcare Group has asked for privacy for the Thompsons family.
We take another break. Sports is next.